The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media, not owned by a network, commercial-free, unscripted. We got a great show for you today coming from New York City, the media capital of the world. Let's get the American Dream started right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
Here we are, Times Square, the city never sleeps.
Yeah.
So I actually started in New York City when I was 21 years old. I had an internship right down the street at MTV when I used to actually play music.
Yeah.
I got dropped here, a guy from the Midwest, knew nobody, but got to know the city, fell in love with this city, and 9/11 happened, ended up back in the Midwest, was finishing school. Well, ended up being a college dropout, tripped and stumbled into this real estate game.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I ended up in Southern California, so it's so funny to come full circle to launching the American Dream, a national TV show now in 23 cities in New York City, and how it's all come full circle.
I love it because not only do I get to know more stories, we get to amplify them over 23 cities. Now, of course, New York City.
Well, it's the family,
Yep.
it's the home, and then it's the location and the lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
it all kind of comes together. And one of the things we're trying to do with this show is highlight these different communities all across the country. You recently brought us Ben Bacal,
Yeah.
and when we talk about things like the American Dream, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big.
Yes.
A $250 million listing.
The biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest.
So here's what we did. Took a helicopter ride,
Yep.
$250 million listing on the West Coast. Let's go check it out. Dream and I have been invited by San Diego's premier luxury realtor, a friend of our show, the Seth O'Byrne. And we're giving LA's leader in luxury real estate, Ben Bacal, a helicopter tour of what San Diego has to offer in the luxury real estate market from the sky. Buckle up.
I've been traveling the entire country, launching the American Dream all across the United States, and in each market we isolate the elite realtors in every market. Today we did something fun. We brought Ben Bacal, who is the #1 agent for luxury up in LA.
So glad to be here.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It has a $250 million listing right now, amongst many other. A great portfolio. And we got Seth O'Byrne, who you see on the show all the time, who is our expert out of San Diego. Of course, on his phone, but we're just touring America's finest city, maybe having a little in-air debate about LA and San Diego from two of the best nationwide. When you approach a luxury home and you're taking it to market, what are some of the strategies that help move that house?
I spend anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month on those luxury listings because everyone's on their phone.
Yep.
I want those listings, viral on your phone. So that's what I implement. And of course, for the super high-end properties, we'll have a PR company come in and strategize and build stories around the property and try to get free editorials as much as we can.
Is there, obviously there's a lot of thought that goes into it, but it's not for sure what that property is going to sell for when you list it for 20, 30, 40 million, right? I mean, there's some guesswork there.
No, when you're in that 20 to 30 million dollar mark, you know that they're going to sell for pretty close to that. It's when you're pushing in that 40 to 250 stratosphere.
Yeah.
Then it's a bit different game, but. The price per square foot has been, we're really price per square foot driven in Los Angeles. We're lucky because we have the comps to back it up. So you can say like a house down the street sold for $3,000 a foot or $2,500 a foot. Museum quality stuff is selling for about $2,500 a foot.
Share with me a story, an example of something you've moved recently.
Recently we did a house for $48 million, and it's a New York buyer that came out and bought it. And then we have a lot of buyers from the UK that are venture capital, private equity. A lot of Chinese are buying, and then mostly it's domestic because the United Emirates dollar is pegged to the US dollar, and this the British thing. Everything's in flux. So right now it's really domestic, but I do advertise in like Camju and luxuryrealestate.com and Prestige MLS, and I put it in Mandarin. The listings I'll translate them, and also on YouTube I'll translate them. But essentially they're coming out here and they're hiring me, looking for their home of their dreams, and like the big listings spending like $10,000 a month, pushing them so they're where their screens your house is going to be, right?
Yeah, so really, even though in some ways, obviously, luxury real estate has been known for being cutthroat, kind of to the opposite, you have to be collaborative with the other partners out there, right?
Yeah, you really have to, exactly. You got to be collaborative with your fellow associates, and you got to maintain that relationship. Getting exclusive listings, they're great, but often they trade hands really quickly. You get a 6-month listing, and it doesn't trade, and then you pass it off to the next guy, and then boom, it could sell, which is okay. It's just the name of the game, right?
Ben, you got any final remarks about San Diego?
Well, from the air, I really got a really terrific perspective. Thank you, Seth, for showing me all the different areas. They're beautiful. Those hillside, those cliffside properties were extraordinary. I couldn't believe what I saw. And the value that you get for beachfront property is exceptional. I'm looking to maybe buy something one day. That'd be cool.
Hope you enjoyed, and cheers to your American dream.
People come here to succeed, and if you don't succeed here, you don't stay. So owning a media company in Southern California to spread across the country, doing it city by city, and then New York City becoming our 23rd, it's the place where you're bringing the best of the best. In the media capital of the world, owning a media company, this is where you want to get to. Look at me now. I mean, it's just one of those things now where we have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
We've pulled major partners, sponsors, and got this momentum where we're here to launch.
We are back once again with E.L. Craine. He always has such great content, great people in his life, great connections for you. He is the Vice President of Business Development with Paradigm Title, also the Chairman of BROAC. And today he has brought us Bob Upchurch, the owner and distributor of the Real Estate Book. Great to have you both on the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thanks, Aim. How you doing today?
E.L., you always bring the greatest people to us with such amazing information, and I am sure that today is no difference with Bob. Bob, what is the Real Estate Book?
Well, the Real Estate Book is a magazine, digest-sized magazine. We're actually celebrating our 40-year anniversary this year, and we bring buyers and sellers together.
So how important is this then for agents and for sellers and for buyers and what you're providing for the real estate agents? Why don't you share on that a little bit?
That's a great question. Well, real estate is the most saturated and competitive industry today, and the Real Estate Book helps the real estate agent stand out. With everybody being on the World Wide Web, you need to find a way to stand out amongst other agents, and that's what we do.
So, E.L., from your perspective, you're the chairman of BROAC. You do a great job with business development with Paradigm Title. You've got this great resource. You have incredible real estate agent and business partners that you're connected with. How does all this tie together that you're able to use this book to advantage for those relationships?
Well, as you've known in the past, we always talk about collaboration.
Right.
So basically, it's just a further extension of the media aspect of it. We have the TV with the American Dream TV show. We have Real Estate U radio show, as well as the outreach with the builders, the agents, and the mortgage lenders. And then you incorporate the Real Estate Book that gives another avenue for the agents to showcase their properties, list their properties, put it out there, and you tie all these things together with the social media and the collaboration of all these media forms is truly beneficial to the agent to make sure that their products is at the front of the line instead of the back of the line. Like I tell agents when I train them all the time, Agents only go through MLS 1 or 2 pages, so you want to be on the front row instead of the back row. And that's what you put all these things together between American Dream, Real Estate U, the Real Estate Book, and BROAC with the Builder Realtor Outreach Advisory Council. This is the level. We're leveling the playing field, but actually building our own field.
I love it, and I don't want to minimize the power of this because this is exciting. Bob, do you get excited when you see people have success stories and tangible wins that come from this for everybody?
Absolutely. We see it all the time.
It's a knowledge-based platform, and that platform is essential in getting the word out. I tell people all the time, if they don't know you, they can't buy you.
Right.
So you take radio, TV, Real Estate Book, BROAC, outreach to the community, outreach to the broker offices, because Bob sells to the broker offices as well as the individual agents. So if you want to be a part of the Real Estate Book, you reach Bob Upchurch so that you can be in hand as well as on air as well as through social media.
And EL, being the incredible connector that you are, if they don't know how to reach out to him, they can reach out to you, and you know exactly where to steer them to make this dream become a reality.
Absolutely, absolutely, because we have to stay at the front of the line. I don't like being in second place, Amy. It don't work for me.
Somehow I can't picture that happens. EL, you're such a great resource for everybody there in the market, and bringing Bob in today is no different. Bob, thank you for being a part of the show and for what you're doing to help impact the American dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it as always.
Always. Great to see you guys. You're watching The American Dream.
The show's called The American Dream, right? There's only one city in the country that has an Ellis Island. You know, this is a place where people have come for hundreds and hundreds of years to stake out their claim in what is the American Dream. And so having a show called The American Dream, launching in a place known to found the American Dream, is a huge deal.
What I love most about San Diego is the pace. People move here because they know that life is short. You gotta live it in a place that recognizes that. You know, I would always joke I can go from business suit to wetsuit in 15 minutes on a Friday afternoon. I think I've got it beat. I've got it down to about 12 minutes now. That's what living in San Diego is about. Today I'm going to take you guys to a property that we just put on the market in Sapphire Tower. This condo is probably one of the best properties, one of the best views in all of San Diego. On the way, we're going to pick something up special for the sellers. We're going to go to Donut Bar. Actually, it's here right now. Let's get some donuts. Could I get some creme brulee and then a Boston cream and a chocolate euphoria? I was going to have a beer, but I think it's too early.
It's not too early, sir. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Thanks. When you're in downtown San Diego, you might walk right by it and think it's nothing, but the Donut Bar has been on USA Today, it's been on the Thrillist, it's been on TripAdvisor. This is probably one of the hottest donut bars in America, and we got it in our backyard. This penthouse listing is actually really personal to me because not only do we have a listing on one of the most expensive penthouses downtown San Diego, I was working on this project when I was 19 years old as an intern for the builder. So to come around 16 years later and have a listing of this caliber is something that really means a lot to us. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3,000 square feet, but you're not just buying it because of the stats, you're buying it because of the materials, you're buying it because of the Sub-Zero commercial wine fridge, the Miele, the Wolf. All these materials are absolute top of the line, and for an affluent penthouse buyer, they're the units, materials that you would really want. The reason I would buy this property is this room right here. One of my favorite rooms in the penthouse is the master bedroom. It's got floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall windows. It overlooks over $2 trillion in downtown penthouse living. You can see out of this window to Mexico. You can see Coronado Islands in the San Diego Bay. I like to joke that this is a 50 Shades of Grey style penthouse. And I like to think that Christian Grey himself would love this one feature that he has right here. And this is a hidden staircase, in case you have guests that need to leave in a hurry. You know, the reality is for $3 million you could buy a lot of house, right? But you can't replicate this view. You know, that beach across the street, that's a white sand beach I surfed out this morning. For a local San Diegan, you know you're looking at basically the best of our city all in one shot. So as great as the inside of this property is, you realize that it takes all of it to make it one of the best properties in San Diego.
All right, and cut. Good job, guys.
We're done?
We're done.
You want a donut?
Yes.
Everybody has decided, they've made that conscious decision that they choose positivity, that they still believe America is a staircase, and that there's a possibility for everybody to go up. People rejecting negativity and choosing positivity. People deciding that they want to do more with their businesses, more with their time, more with their families, and take part in this incredible economic opportunity we have to be in this country. And so what's so cool is everyone's story is completely different, and this company is thriving as a business, at the same time creating a tremendous amount of social good.
And we're here with Kelsey McGaughey. She is a realtor with Intero Real Estate Services, and she has brought with her today William Jordan. He is the owner of All Cash Close. Great to talk to both of you.
Great to talk to you too.
Hi. So this is fun. William, I'm starting with you. Why don't you tell us who is All Cash Close and talk a little bit about the work that you're doing in Houston.
Okay, so All Cash Close House Buyers, we added that on later down the road, is a real estate investment company focused on finding solutions for people that might be in a distressed scenario, whether they're facing foreclosure or they've got really high repairs, or maybe even they're going through a divorce and need to get rid of that asset really quick. We are here to find a solution for that. We've worked with a lot of people in different scenarios and different situations that we have the knowledge to say, hey, I know that your situation is very unique, and we can come up with a solution for it. So we prepare a couple solutions and present them, and typically it's in this industry, as everybody kind of knows, it's typically getting rid of the house, and we end up buying the home. So WRI Ventures is another company that I own, where its role is to actually purchase the home from the homeowner or through All Cash Close house buyers, and then we'll renovate that to a level that I guess more appropriately fits the market, to insert it back in a really nice fashion for the area.
Sure, and I would imagine that there's a lot of delicacies that go along with this. People are in different times and for different reasons. Kelsey, you're a great real estate professional, so you see all kinds of things. How is working with All Cash Close, how is that impacting your business and also the consumers? What is your relationship there? And tell me why this has been such a good fit.
Absolutely. So working with All Cash Close and with William Jordan has been an amazing experience. We've been able to buy a couple different properties and help families out of different hardships and different scenarios where they just couldn't get that house sold. And so when a company like All Cash Close comes around, you know they're financially backed. You're comfortable knowing that they are known to close and that they're going to get the deal done. And it really alleviates a lot of people from the burden of this house that they just couldn't get sold to your everyday consumer.
Well, you're really making a difference, and sometimes I bet that's a huge relief for them, for families or people in a situation that really need this. What an incredible resource that you guys are. William, what are some of the areas right now in Houston that you guys are really helping revitalize through this?
Well, a lot of our focus, I want to talk on two different pieces of that question. The entire area of Houston is we market to, and more importantly, the people that have been affected recently by the unfortunate, disaster of Hurricane Harvey, and it affected hundreds of thousands of homes. So we've put a huge focus on those areas, not only to bring up the value of the homes, but to help these people get out of this crazy fluke of a scenario where they had no idea what they were going to do. So more importantly, of the areas that we're working on in Houston is the people that we're passionate about helping, and then at the secondary piece of that is making that home look great again, and helping the entire Houston area start beautifying after the effects of that storm.
That's outstanding. That's got to be some rewarding work. And speaking of rewarding work, you guys have a property that you've lit that's recent that you're working on right now. Why don't you just touch on the details real quick for us, Kelsey?
Okay, yeah. So the property was at 4002 Chatham. It was a beautiful project that I had the opportunity of working with Will on, and we got that house up on market pretty quick, and they did an amazing job renovating it, and all the neighbors were driving by and, oh, it looks so different, it looks so beautiful. And so we really helped, I feel, get that home back to its beauty, to be in that neighborhood. And now, luckily, we have it pending, which is awesome, within just 14 days of being on market. And it's been a really great experience. And I met a lot of the neighbors, and they were just so thrilled. And it's just been really amazing.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. You guys are making difference for families, making difference in neighborhoods, and really giving back to the community while you do such an outstanding job. Thank you both for being on the show today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
You're watching The American Dream. Welcome to The American Dream. I'm excited to introduce to you Jen Tran. She's with us today for the first time, and we're looking forward to getting to know her. She is with Keller Williams Realty Memorial. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Jen, we're excited to talk to you. I wanted to ask you first, how long have you been in the real estate business?
Oh, I'm going on my 8th year in real estate, and I've been with Keller Williams Memorial the entire time.
Oh, see, and that's great. You must love the team that you're with.
I love it. It's a great office.
What do you love the most about working in real estate?
My passion is helping people and being there for people and trying to bring value to all my clients. And so that is what I love, and that's why I get up and do it every day.
Well, and from what I understand, you clearly love it so much that your clients love you, that you have built up quite a referral base of business. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. So my clients are my friends. So even if we didn't meet until the first time they interviewed me, we become friends after that. I spend so much time with them during the transaction, and we're talking to each other every day, that it's, you know, a no-brainer to become close to someone. And then I try to keep in touch with them. Again, like I said, I just want to bring value to them.
So what do you do when closing happens and you've built this great relationship with your clients, you're helping empower their American dream, and they say, I don't want the transaction to end because I'm going to miss talking to you? How do you respond to that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, so many times my clients tell me, oh, I'm going to miss talking to you every day now that we're closing. And I just tell them, oh, you can't get rid of me that easily. I still go over to see them. I have to see their house after they've got it decorated, and I follow up with their families, and I have client appreciation parties several times during the year, and I invite them out, and so we remain close friends, and that's not the end of our relationship, but the beginning of our relationship.
We always say that this is a relationship business. What you're doing as a real estate agent, you're helping them with one of the most important and intimate purchases that they make in their lifetime, and you get to be a part of that, and continuing that friendship, I think, is so important, and I can see that that's what sets you apart. You also have some listings right now. You had one that you would like to share with us. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes, so this is a great listing. It's down near the medical center, and it is a townhome, 2 bedrooms, and it's like 2 blocks or just a few blocks from the medical center one direction, and then a few blocks from Westview the other direction. So it's a perfect location, especially for medical center students or residents or any type of investor that wants to lease it out to medical center students. So I think it's a great opportunity for anyone in that area.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. It was great to get to talk to you today. Thank you for being a part of the show, Jen.
Thank you so much, Amy.
We'll be right back with more of The American Dream.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. The American Dream now spans coast to coast, all across the country and everywhere in between. The whole idea, to empower the mindset of the American dream. Did it from New York City today. This is actually the place I started in media. Working for MTV, living in Chinatown. I'll never forget my first day in Union Square, which is where this $18 million pad is. Met my roommate, and he said, hey man, let me show you around New York City. Show you what this town has to offer. So we walked up here to Union Square. And I'll never forget, he sat down and he said, sewing, grab yourself a piece of real estate. This is a great place to take a nap. Put his arms behind his head, laid back down. So my first day, almost 20 years ago in New York City, I took a nap in the street. So to be back here, launching the show, spreading positive information, and empowering the mindset of the American dream, quite the honor. Thanks so much for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it from New York City and all the areas we covered. That's all for today. Hope you can follow us on social media. I'm gonna go take a nap.